everyone. I am Leyanidhi studying grade 10. Now, imagine taking a stroll along a pristine beach. The waves setting down on the horizon, waves gently lapping at the shore. Now, I want you to picture this scene, marked not by the footprints of those who came to enjoy the nature, but by an insidious intruder, plastics. In today's world, this is not just hypothetical scenario, but a stark reality. In fact, every minute, our equivalent of garbage truck full of plastics enters our oceans, forever altering the beauty we often take for granted. So, ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you to shed light on a critical issue that affects our environment and our very way of life. An issue that often goes unnoticed but holds engraved consequences for our environment and our future generations. Since we started using plastics, we had begun to live with plastics. We humans usually have the habit of buying a chips packet, but once the packet is empty, we just drop it on the ground. The same way we buy a bottle of water, drink the water, throw it away, whatever place it may be. To be honest, how many of you here have done this? Probably every one of us here have done this, but are you aware while doing that action that this simple action contributes to the overwhelming environmental crisis we face today? Every bottle or chips packet ever thrown away adds to the staggering amount of non-biodegradable waste. Much of it ends up in landfills and oceans. And it takes hundreds of years, sometimes even thousands, harming our planet for generations to come. As in 1950, we humans just produced over 2 million metric tons of plastics. But today, it is over 360 million metric tons. It's a big increase in plastics. As the use of plastics has skyrocketed, the rapid surge in production of plastics has led to an overwhelming amount of plastics. Much of it ends up in landfills. Now, here comes the interesting part. As these plastics began to degrade in the landfills, they fragment into smaller pieces, eventually known as microplastics. Actually, these microplastics are way more dangerous than the ordinary one. They are literally present everywhere. They'll be sticking on your body, your clothes, they are present on the food you eat, the water you drink, even they are present in the breath you inhale. Rather than plastics, we humans also make another engraved mistake. How many of you have mixed up the wet waste and dry waste and dump it together? Yes, most of us here have done this, but this simple action is making it difficult to separate the plastics from the biodegradable waste. Usually, those municipality workers and garbage collectors would separate these plastics when they come to a house to collect our trash. You know, it's not their responsibility, but it's ours. Even if you separate those vegetable peels, they can be made into a valuable composites for the soil. These small changes to start from ourselves, from our home, and from our lifestyle. Now, the ultimate solution to this problem is the 3 R's. Reduce, reuse, recycle. We have already learned about these 3 R's probably when we were studying first or second grade. But we might have not known the power of these 3 R's while our teacher was teaching us. But these 3 R's has the only power to save our planet from this environmental apocalypse. We can't stop plastics from getting into landfills, but we can reduce it. Now, I am going to introduce you to 5 rules to gradually decrease the use of plastics. Rule number 1, the BYOB rule. Bring your own bag. Rule number 2, ditch single-use water bottles. Instead, you can use steel water bottles and copper water bottles, which can also add minerals to your body. Rule number 3, say no to plastic straws. Do you guys really want to slop your drinks with straws? If you want to, then you can use glass straws, steel straws, or even paper straws. Rule number 4, avoid using plastic containers while buying food and carrying food. Rule number 5, DIY. You can make your own DIY with plastic, which is also enjoyable. Now, there's a quote that says, when you change, everything around you changes, and that's magic. If you want to make this magic happen, we should work together. If we can turn the tide on plastics and make a more sustainable and healthy environment. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a choice in this drowning world of plastics: sink or swim. Now, in the hushed echoes of discarded symphony of landfills, let's imagine a different finale. Let's imagine a flower daring to bloom amidst the plastic debris in its defiance, showing a hopeful truth that even amidst waste, life persists and change is possible. Thank you, everybody.
Leyanidhi, right?
Yes, sir.
So beautiful. I mean, you've done your research very well. First
Thank
of
you,
all,
sir.
very research oriented, and the subject, of course, needless to say, it is the need of the hour, and you put it so beautifully, including the steps to be taken and everything.
Yes,
And
sir.
one fact I just want to mention here: the lace packet, right? The
Yes,
lace
sir.
packet. Usually, plastics are recyclable. Some of the plastics can be recycled. But this lace packet, because of that foil which is stuck to it,
Yes,
that,
sir.
that has a glue which cannot be removed, and because of that it cannot be recycled. And it's painful, right? How many
Yeah.
lace packets we would have thrown because of that foil. Every lace packet or every other chips packet that we use, that foiled packets, every one of them will go in the landfill and it cannot be recycled ever.
Yes, sir.
So yes, we should avoid any of those plastics, and we should probably look at recyclable plastics if possible,
Yes.
right? So very beautiful topic, ma.
Thank you,
Good
sir.
work, and you've explained very clearly for the last 6-7 minutes. You've done it super.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so